Everyone wants to go to Paris, but it can be really expensive. In this video, we'll show you the top 7 affordable cities in Europe, the best places to visit in each one, and the most cost-effective city that tourists love, and why. At number 7, a city of golden stone, endless sunshine, and a price tag that feels impossible for the Mediterranean. Welcome to Valletta, Malta, the smallest capital in the European Union, less than 1 square kilometer. And yet, within these narrow streets lies an entire world of stories. For just $60 a day, you wander past Baroque palaces, marble churches, and fortress walls built by the Knights of St. John. Every step echoes with centuries of history. The sound of footsteps on stone, the murmur of bells in the distance. Step inside the St. John's Co-Cathedral. Golden walls shimmer softly in the dim light, and in the shadows hangs Caravaggio's Beheading of St. John, a masterpiece of drama and detail, the only signed work of the artist, treasured here for more than 4 centuries. Even in silence, it feels alive, powerful, unforgettable. From the Upper Barraca Gardens, the Grand Harbor opens wide, ships gliding across turquoise waters, cannon salutes thundering at noon, rolling against the stone, the horizon stretching far beyond the eye, painted in layers of blue and gold. Take the ferry across to the 3 cities, Vittoriosa, Sanglia, and Cospicua. Only a few euros, narrow lanes winding between ancient houses, laundry drifting in the breeze, fishermen repairing nets by the water. Life here moves slowly, unhurried, timeless. History runs deep. At Fort St. Elmo, the National War Museum whispers of epic sieges, of empires clashing for control of this tiny rock in the sea. Walls that once shook with cannon fire now echo only with footsteps. And yet, Valletta is no museum piece. Markets alive with voices, merchants calling out their prices, coffee shops spilling onto the streets, the aroma of fresh bread and olives in the air. A coffee for $1.50, a local meal for under $10. Simple food, rich with flavor, shared slowly under the sun. With more than 300 days of sunshine a year, every corner feels like a film set. Golden walls glowing at dusk, harbor lights shimmering on the water, the scent of salt carried by the evening breeze, the hush of the city settling into night. And yes, parts of Game of Thrones were filmed here. Affordable, historic, cinematic. At number 6, a city of Gothic spires, stone bridges glowing like fairy tales, and prices that feel almost unreal for the heart of Europe. Welcome to Prague, Czech Republic, a city where history rises above the Vltava River, and every cobblestone seems to whisper an old story. For just $50 a day, you can wander freely through one of Europe's most beautiful capitals. Cross the Charles Bridge at dawn. Statues standing like silent guardians. The river flowing quietly beneath. Light reflecting on the water. Rooftops painted in soft reds and golds. And violins playing softly in the air. The city stills around you, and time moves slower. Step into the old town square. Astronomical clock hands spinning slowly. Crowds gathering beneath its tower, waiting for the figures to appear. The Gothic spires of Tin Church cutting into the sky. shadows stretching across the cobbles. Time itself seems to pause here. You feel it holding its breath. For under $10, you slip into a tavern, wooden beams above you, whispering with age. A plate of roasted pork arrives, dumplings soft and heavy beside it, steam curling into the air. And of course, a mug of Czech beer, golden, cold. Sometimes even delivered by a little train that rattles to your table. On the street outside, the sweet scent of tudelník drifts through the night, dough rolled in sugar, turning slowly over the fire. Warm in your hands, sweet on your lips, a fairy tale you can taste. But Prague is more than its old town. Climb to Prague Castle, one of the largest in the world. Stone walls stretched across the hill. Inside, St. Vitus Cathedral rises, stained glass glowing like fire. 1,000 years of kings, emperors, saints. Echoes carried through vaulted halls, each step heavier than the last. Down in the lesser town, narrow streets curl between Baroque palaces, balconies with flowers spilling over, courtyards where fountains whisper softly. It feels like another century, and the city breathes with you. At sunset, the city glows in ways no camera can hold. Street lamps reflecting on the Vltava, the bridge alive with silhouettes, music rising from hidden courtyards, laughter spilling from beer halls, the smell of roasted meat drifting through the air. You pause, letting it all surround you. Of course, Prague has its legends, ghost stories whispered at night, alchemists in cellars chasing secrets, astronomers in towers mapping the heavens, a city of myths, of magic, of mystery, and beneath it all, a quiet hum of wonder. Yet for all its beauty, it stays astonishingly affordable. A full dinner under $10, a hotel for $150 a night, and endless streets to wander for free. And then, a surprise. Amid the Gothic spires and Baroque palaces stands the dancing house. Glass and stone bending as if caught mid-step. Locals call it Fred and G. And now, number 5. Lisbon. A city where hills roll toward the Tagus, where pastel rooftops and trams of yellow and gold make every street feel like a postcard come alive. Here, even the rhythm of life feels lighter. You can live a whole day in Lisbon. Food, transport, and wonder for about $55. From the heights of São Jorge Castle, a flag ripples above the city, and for just a few dollars, the price of a simple lunch, you step into centuries of view. Downtown, the Grand Praça do Comércio opens wide, its arch tall and timeless. A tram ride through these old streets costs only about $7. And yet it feels priceless. Not far beyond, Sintra waits. Palaces rising from the hills, fairy tales carved in stone. A round-trip journey for under $10. Back in Lisbon, the squares come alive with voices and color. You savor a plate of local flavors for under $12 and taste the city itself. By the river, Belém Tower stands watch, stone rising from the Tagus, a sentinel of history. A few more dollars and you're inside. At sunset, the city softens. Light turns golden across the water. Music drifts from hidden courtyards. And you return to a hotel by the river, around $100 a night, comfort without extravagance. Number 4. Porto, Portugal. At just $50 a day, the city welcomes you with tiled facades and winding streets. Here begins Porto. tile-covered facades catching the light, balconies lined with iron railings and flowers. The sound of footsteps echoes on stone, and tram bells mark the rhythm of the hills. Down in Ribera, the riverfront glows with cafes and boats drifting by. A glass of port wine, just $3. Sit for a while, let the Douro reflect the sky, and feel how the hours loosen their hold. Cross the Dom Luís I Bridge, its great arch of steel carrying you high above the Douro. From here, the city unfolds, red rooftops layered over the hills, and for just $10, you can sail beneath it all on a river cruise. The water drifts slow, and the bridge towers like a gate between past and present. In the cellars of Vila Nova de Gaia, barrels of port line the cool stone halls. Tastings begin at only $6, each sip a story of centuries. Here, shadows, wood, and candlelight keep the silence company. Look higher, to the Clérigos Tower. For just $5, climb the spiral stair and see Porto stretch toward the sea. The bells rest above the city, their silence heavier than their sound. And when the day fades, the city invites you to stay. A simple guest house from $40 a night, or upscale hotels around $120. So much wonder for so little. Porto, a city of wine, water, and endless light. Number 3, Budapest, Hungary. At just $41 a day, this city opens like a tale of two halves. Buda rising with castles and hills. Pest alive with cafes and boulevards. Begin with the Danube. A twilight cruise beneath the Parliament and the Chain Bridge costs only $12. Reflections of stone and steel trembling across the water. On the Pest side, the Hungarian Parliament rises in Gothic detail, its spires sharp as frozen flames. Step inside for a guided tour, just $20, a walk through echoing halls where laws and history are written in marble. At street level, pause for a coffee, barely $3, or taste a glass of ruby red Bicavere wine, $4, velvet in a stemmed glass. Hungry? A steaming bowl of goulash or stuffed peppers served in a local tavern, about $8. And for dessert, chimney cake dusted with cinnamon, only $2, soft and sweet in your hands. Now cross the Chain Bridge, its great span of iron carrying you into Buda. Above, the castle crowns the hill. Entry to its museums is just $10, and the views from the ramparts spill across rooftops and river alike. Climb higher still to Fisherman's Bastion, 7 white towers like a storybook fortress. The lookout is free, though a small $3 ticket opens the upper terraces, where Budapest lies beneath you like a painted map. And there, St. Stephen's Basilica. Step inside for $6, golden domes gleaming in candlelight. Or climb to the observation deck, Budapest unfolding in every direction. Want to feel the city itself? Slip into the Széchenyi thermal baths. All-day access is around $23, steam rising above yellow colonnades, laughter mingling with mist. Evening comes and the ruined bars stir awake. Walls covered in art, strings of lights tangled above the crowds. A drink here? About $5. Cheap, colorful, alive. Getting around is simple too. A tram ride along the river, just $1. Its yellow cars glide past bridges and monuments, the whole city passing in slow motion. And when the night deepens, a bed awaits. Guest houses begin at $40 a night. Warm, simple, close to the streets. While upscale hotels shimmer with chandeliers, around $130. So much to taste, so much to see, for so little. Number 2. Krakow, Poland. The penultimate stop, and it already feels like a grand finale. On about $45 a day, this medieval city opens like a story. Golden squares, Gothic towers, and quiet coffee houses under arched ceilings. Trace the map of Poland, and your finger settles here. Krakow. From the air, the main market square glows at golden hour. The cloth hall to its heart, streets radiating like sunbeams. A guided walking tour? Barely $12. History whispered on every corner. Look higher. St. Mary's Basilica, twin towers rising above the square. Climb for only $5 and hear the bugle call drift over rooftops. Then sit for a moment. A cappuccino for $3, the city slowing to your cup. Walk south to the river. Wawel Castle crowns its hill. Red brick, Renaissance courtyards, a cathedral that gleams in winter snow. Entry to the staterooms costs about $15. Views of the Vistula worth far more. Hungry? A plate of pierogi, pillowy and warm, for $5. Add Zurek, sour and hearty, for $4. Or N. Smet, Cernik or apple strudel, for $4 more. In Kazimierz, the old Jewish quarter, the Basilica of Corpus Christi rises above cobbled lanes. Synagogues here hold centuries of memory. Step inside for $3 or join a guided walk for $10 to hear the stories carried by these streets. Museums deepen the echo. At Oskar Schindler's factory, tickets are about $7. Rooms of photographs, voices, and the weight of lived history. Even moving is simple. A tram across town is just $1. Steel wheels clicking through the past toward what comes next. When night arrives, the square glows again. Live music curls beneath lanterns. Conversation spills from coffee houses. Winter air turns breath into silver. Rest is easy. Guest houses begin around $40 a night, while five-star hotels shimmer near the square for about $140. Krakow, luminous, timeless. A city that could have been number 1, and yet the final surprise still waits ahead. Number 1. Tirana, Albania. The last stop, and perhaps the most surprising of all, on just $40 a day, Tirana offers a capital unlike any other in Europe, colorful, raw, and alive with history. Trace the map of the Balkans, and your finger settles here. At the center, Skanderbeg Square opens wide. Statues, fountains, the pulse of a city rediscovering itself. Step inside the National History Museum for only $5, mosaics and memory filling every hall. Look deeper into Bunk Art, a Cold War bunker turned museum. Entry costs just $5. Tunnels where stories of fear and resilience echo in stone. Time for flavor? A warm birek pastry from a street stall is barely $1. Or sit down for grilled meats and village stews, hearty plates for about $7. Add a crisp salad and fresh bread for $2 more. And, of course, a strong espresso for just $1.50. Lift your eyes to the mountains. The Daiti Express cable car climbs high above the city, round trip for $8. At the summit, a cold local beer is only $2, while Tirana stretches out like a living map below you. By evening, the Bloku district stirs awake. Once forbidden, now the heart of Tirana's nights. A glass of Albanian wine? Only $4. A crafted cocktail with Balkan spices? Around $6. Even a full dinner with drinks can cost under $12. And when the day ends, rest is kind to your budget. Guest houses begin at $40 a night, while stylish, modern hotels rise to about $100. Comfort without extravagance. Even moving through the city is effortless. A bus ride is less than 50 cents. Steel and paint carrying you across neighborhoods both modern and timeless. Or rent a bike for $3 a day and discover Tirana at your own rhythm. Tirana, affordable, authentic, unexpected. Did Tirana deserve number 1? Tell us below what cities you'd love us to explore next, because the journey doesn't end here. This is World Adventure OS, the operating system for global wonder. Like what you saw? Give it a like. And to keep traveling with us, subscribe and turn on alerts.